Hello everybody, Hellcrex here, and welcome to another Mercenary Thoughts from the Inner Sphere, episode 330. Today we're going to be talking about the 90-ton Kingfisher clan mech. Has 24 tons of pod space, so it is an Omni. It is a 460 for a 90-tonner. It falls into the same category as some of those other slower clan mechs, like the one we just like, the Night Gear. It's dedicated just as a fire platform. All right. Now, you do get Indosteel ferrofibrous armor, and you do have a standard engine on this thing, so it does not have XLs, which is why it only has 24 tons of pod space. Now, if it had XLs, it'd be in the same category up there, like with the Night Gear, and it as a slow-moving fire platform that just goes right up to metal, as a star of heavies and assaults that just rip things to pieces. But 24 is nothing to sneeze at. So, all right. So, like I said, it has Indosteel ferrofibers. It has 17 double heat sinks. It has 278 points of armor, 1 point short of maximum, which is totally fine. Why add another half-ton armor just to get 1 point? Not worth it. Then we have a plethora of weapon systems with those 24 tons of pod space. Now, the standard prime configuration, which is not that bad. I kind of like the prime myself. It has a large pulse laser in the right arm. It has a streak 6 in the left arm with a ton of ammunition. It has an ER small in the left arm. Center torso is another large pulse laser, and we have a medium pulse laser in the right torso with an LRM-10 in the left torso with a ton of ammo, and another medium pulse laser in the left torso. So, seems kind of weird. It's like everything is just chunked all the way in the left side. Along with, on the right side, you got a large pulse laser and a medium pulse laser, and everything else is like over on the other side. It's kind of like unbalanced in a way, but you know, it is what it is. So I always like to put my weapons, like, kind of balance them out, so in case you lose a torso, you got some, at least a good amount of firepower everywhere. But it is what they designed for the prime configuration. It's an Omni, so you can figure out how you want to put it elsewhere, you know, standard, whatever, if you want to go configurations, or just say, hey, I'm going to balance this thing out a little bit. You can do it. It's an Omni. There's nothing you have to worry about. Now, with this version, you got 2 large pulse lasers and LRM-10. So this thing runs cool. You got 17 double heat sinks running around on this thing. So, yeah, it's not really worrying too much about heat problems with this thing. So you're looking at 26 maybe at long range. Yeah, if you're sitting and firing at range 20, yeah, you got 26 heat, and you can dissipate 34. Not a problem. So then when you start getting in closer into 12 range, then you really start thinking about how I'm going to be possibly changing up my firing solution, because you start throwing in the streak and a couple more medium pulse lasers. That's 12 more, so that puts you up at 38. So you can fire all those for 1 turn and just go up 4. So you're not too detrimental to you. Or you can just shut something off, like the LRM possibly, because the LRM is put out as much damage usually compared to, let's say, the pulse lasers and the streak. If you get a lock on with the streak, that's your variable in the whole works. So if you're looking at a good firing solution, okay, I would probably shut something off like the LRM-10. Now, if the firing solution is like, I'm not sure about this, I'm going to fire the pulse lasers, and I'm just going to gamble if I don't fire the streak or not. A lot of times that's what happens, is that, oh, there's 4 points of heat that I do or do not know what's going to happen. So you can go spike up, or you may not have any problem at all. So you just have to look at it. And a lot of players may gamble that route. But when you get in close, now at range, you have a potential up to 30 points of damage, which isn't too bad. Typically, it's going to be about 36 or 26. I mean, because you know if you have a good shot with the 2 large pulse lasers, the hitting, all right, and then the LRM-10 is like, maybe. You know, the pulses were going to give you a little bit better shot at hitting. The LRM-10 is like, oh, okay, whatever type of thing. That's why I have a tendency to think I'd rather just, when I get in closer, fire all the pulse lasers and gamble on the streak, firing or not. So that might be the route I would go. And then just not ignore the LRM-10 altogether. But yeah, when you get in close, you can do some good damage with this thing. So yeah, the potential is there for a lot. You know, you're getting up close to, what, 50? Somewhere in there? Oh, not bad. Not bad at all. So you can crank it out. Then, but the thing is, it is a 4/6 moving assault mech, so it will get there kind of slow. But if you can park it in some place in, let's say, some heavy woods, if you got that access to that, then you can just sit there and turn yourself into a fire platform of just banging away with the pulse lasers and the LRM-10 and mitigating your movement modifier for increased chance of hitting. But if you are able to hit somebody, they probably can hit you back. So there's that. But you do have a lot of armor as a 90-tonner to absorb a lot. And let me tell you, it's like we were facing off with the night gear before, the one version that maybe had the one large pulse laser, which may not attract as much attention compared to, say, this one. This one might be attracting all the attention while the other one is moving up. So working in conjunction with each other. So there's that possibility. Yep. So there are a few other versions of this mech. There's a lot of them because it's an Ami. So that was the prime configuration coming in at 2,400 battle value. So it's not bad for expense when it comes to the battle value. All right. Configuration A, which comes in a little over 22.5 battle value. This one has an ER PPC. You have an LBX-10 and a medium pulse laser, an ER medium laser, and an ER small laser, and SRM-6. All right, so very similar to damage output compared to the other one for the Prime. Now, the interesting thing is that you could have gone with like the Prime version and swap out, let's say, a large pulse laser for an ER PPC and not have to worry about heat problems. You're just increasing it by 5. You can dissipate 34. So that might have been an option to go with, is have something that rips off a little bit more armor instead of a large pulse laser. But I love my large pulse lasers. But in this case, you got an ER PPC and LBX-10. So this one has options. So you can do the cluster munition option, go that route. And let's say there was, what, 2 tons? Yeah, 2 tons of ammunition with this one. So if you have ripping some holes in it, you're working in conjunction with some other mechs and you rip holes in a mech, then obviously you're looking at the previous turn results and you're like, I'm going to use cluster and try, probably usually you're going to get about 6 cluster shots hit, 1-pointers, to go crit hunting. And hopefully the other mates in your star have really tore up some holes in it, so this guy can take advantage of it. Now, when you get in close, you're looking at 7, 11, 26, 31, 33. So, yeah, this one is a very heat-efficient mech. So when you do get in close, you got an SRM-6, which will help you with crit hunting, and then you got the LBX, which can go with crit hunting. So the LBX is a nice balance between the two. You can use it as a 10-point shot or cluster. And depending on what your target's looking like, yeah, you have options to go either route. So early in the game, I'm probably using solid just to hammer away some holes in it. Now, if you're facing off against vehicles, I'm doing cluster munitions. So if you're going off, say, inner sphere vehicle company or two or battalion, and you see all these vehicles running around, just start using cluster munitions on them and start getting mobility kills, lock them into place. While, especially like VTOLs and stuff like that, or hovercraft, yeah, you knock them down, you slow those guys down, they die pretty quickly then. So that's the nice thing about it. But up close, this version has some good firepower to dish it out. Then we got configuration B. This one comes in almost 2,300 battle value. Now this one has an Ultra 20 cannon with 2 tons of ammunition. Has an ER large laser for your long range firepower, which is 10 out to 25. That's not bad. But this is where it kind of shines in a way. It has 4 ER medium lasers and still has that small ER small for like plinky up close, and an anti-missile system up close for taking care of. So this one kind of screams in some ways of it's a city fighter, or it can help take out elementals if possible. You know, it's like you hit somebody with a 10 and some 4 7s into a point of elementals. Yeah, you might kill a couple of them or tear them down a bit, and somebody else that's in your star can possibly do more damage to them. So there's that aspect of it going on. I do like the idea of it going that route. And then when you get in close within 12, then you just start hammering away for 5 turns with that ultra cannon. And you're obviously probably will shut down the ER large and go that route, because then you can do that a couple turns, and then you might have to shut off an ER medium laser just to kind of cool off and heat back up again, because you're going up to that 4 heat threshold, which I don't like going past 4. I don't mind going up to 4, but I don't like going past it because I don't like the detrimental problems you have with that. All right, so configuration C. All right, this one said this is the energy boat. You got a pair of ER PPCs mounted. All right, and then you have an ER medium laser. This one's up top, and then you got a pair of mediums in the torso with so it has 18 double heat sinks, so it can dissipate 36. In some ways, it's not. You're going to be firing the 2 ER PPCs, tearing armor off. And then when you do get in close, then you have your 3 ER medium lasers, so that's another 15. So you're looking at up to 45, and you can dissipate 36. So I believe how that one works out. So let me double check this one. Oh, this one has 25. Sorry. Yeah. So yeah, this one doesn't worry about heat at all. So you got 2 PPCs, and you got the it's 4 ER medium lasers. Sorry. So it looks like it's basically a Marauder, 90-ton Marauder. So yeah, it does go up to 50 heat. So 52. So you can go 2 turns firing everything, and then you're going to shut off an ER medium laser probably to cool off, and then go back up, cool off, type of thing. So yeah, this one can dish out a lot of good damage. So you're looking at 30 plus 28, so 58 damage. Yeah, that's not bad. That works out pretty good, and it doesn't have to worry about ammo at all. So there's that. Keep forgetting this one has 8 extra heat sinks. So that might be something to play around with. That could become a really good fire platform. All right, configuration D. This one mounts 3 ER large lasers. This one can shoot out at long range. And then it has an Ultra 10 cannon for backup. And this one comes in at 23.5 battle value. The previous one was almost 26.5 battle value. So, yeah, that one was a bit expensive, but a little bit different. So, with 3 ER large lasers and an Ultra cannon, This one does a decent job. Let me see if double check. Yeah, 17 double heat sinks. So the heat problem isn't that bad. So per se, you got 36. You can do up to 30. It would create 31 or 41 heat. So you do have to watch this one a bit. So that's, you go up to 7 real quick if you fire everything. But typically, when you get in close, you're going to shut off one of the large lasers and just go with the ultra cannon for the extra possible double pumping 10 pointers. So really, it isn't that bad. So if you turn it into, when you got a range of 25, you can sit back at a ways and just park it and outrange everybody unless they're clans and they got large ER larges themselves. Now, if you're facing out against inner sphere, you can stay outside their envelope and just plink away with the 10s all day if you want to, or just slowly shuffle forward at a nice walk with the rest of the other heavies and assaults that are slow moving types and get the job done. And then you really got to watch it though, is when you get in close, then the heat can just start spiking pretty quickly with this thing if you decide to get rambunctious with it and start firing every weapon you got, which isn't a smart thing to do anyway. Configuration E, this one has the large pulse laser and ATM 12. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4 medium pulse lasers. So yeah, with 3 tons of ammunition with it. This one comes in at a little over 2,400 battle value, which makes it kind of an interesting little design. This one, so you got 34, and this one is running really cool when it comes to the heat output. So yeah, you're looking at 18, 20, say 30, 34. So yeah, it's like it runs fairly cool overall. And between your ATM and your large pulse laser, that's your ranged weapon. Getting out there and doing some good damage for you. So, but the only problem is with the ATM 12 range isn't all that great. But yeah, it's not much different from having an ER large, or not an ER medium laser. So you got to kind of watch what you're doing with the thing. But the damage potential is there. So if you hit with all 12 and you're doing the short range stuff, yeah, you're looking at a good option there of dishing out a good amount of damage with that ATM. So there. Then you got the medium pulse lasers. That's your up close. Basically, I'd probably would look at varying your heat output by just dropping 1 medium pulse laser. Fire everything, drop a medium pulse laser, fire everything kind of thing. Just keep the damage rolling that route. And maneuvering in. This could be a potential good city fighter overall when you think about it. As a mech. So there. And that was E. And then we have what's the next one here? EF. All right, this one here as ECM has a HAG 30 with an ER large laser in the center torso and 3 ER medium lasers in the right arm. So with the HAG, you can do and this comes in almost around 2,600 battle value. So the damage output is fairly good, especially with the HAG and the large laser. And then when you get in close and you start throwing in the medium lasers, but you still, the heat isn't that bad per se. HAG 30 output for heat is HAG 30 is 6, so it's not that bad. I had to look that one up. I don't use it very often. So yeah, that's not bad when it comes to the heat output. So you got 6, 18 plus 15. You're looking at 33, 35. So you can do that 4 turns, and then something on the 5th turn, I'm not firing one of the ER medium lasers, and then cool off, then right back at it again type of deal. So, yeah. But then you got to really watch it. Then you might have to turn around and not fire a ER large to really get rid of a lot of heat. This depends on how it's working out. Configuration G. This one has an LBX 20. All right. Has the firepower, has 3 improved heavy medium lasers, so you don't have to worry about the movement, the -1 modifier there. So in their torsos, and then you have an ER small in the center, and you have the left arm carries an SRM 6 with a ton of ammunition, another ER small, 17 double heat sinks to relieve everything, and it does have a supercharger to get a little boost of speed. And it comes slightly over 2,300 battle value. So this one screams another city fighter to me, because everything's short range, heavy. You go into a city, it's like, I'm taking this thing, and you come around a corner and just shotgun somebody in the face or give them a solid shot. And I'm not sure exactly. I think it's 2 tons of ammunition with this thing. Let me look here. It has it. Nope, they don't have it. All right. I think it's 2 tons of ammo. Doesn't really specify, though. So, yeah. It's going to be bang, bang, one to the other. So you do have 10 turns of operational effectiveness with the LBX. So rip off a big chunk of armor, and then next turn slam them in with the LBX. Oh, just go crit hunt. Yeah, it does have 2 tons on the right torso. I missed that. All right, so that is a pretty much screams city fighter to me. And then get configuration H. This is a brawler. This one mounts a pair of heavy large lasers, 4 ER medium lasers, and a targeting computer. Doesn't have improved heavy lasers, so it comes in at slightly over 2,500 battle value, which the targeting computer does help with those heavy large lasers. The heavy large lasers will do some good work when it comes to damage output, so that's the nice thing about them. The heavy large laser, does 16, so and the tonnage is you're looking at same tonnage as a standard ER, so there's that. But at the cost of a little bit of the heat there, and not hitting as well. But if you get that thing into close proximity to somebody, they're going to tear some armor off of them, and then you're just going to be following up. But the thing is like you're either firing the heavy large lasers, or you're going to fire a heavy large and the ERs. So you're going to be dropping off one of the heavies eventually, because that heavy large laser is pumping out 18, and you add the other ones with it. The 4, that's 20, 38, up to 40. You're going to go up 6 right off the bat. So you can't, even when you're firing the 2 heavy large lasers and you say up to running, you're going to go up on the heat scale pretty quick. So up 4. So you're going to have to think about how you're going to balance that thing out. But you're going to tear some armor off somebody. They'll know you're there. So if you're fighting in a city, you're going to come around and just hammer somebody fairly decently. All right, so that was the let me check here real quick. Is it 9? Oh, it has. Ooh, how did I miss this? It's got 26, so it doesn't really worry too much. 26 double heat sinks, so it can dissipate. 52. Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, then maybe it doesn't worry about the heat too much. I was wrong. Yeah, but it does have a heat problem. It's like that's where you come in. I was like, I have to remember. It's like firing. You do have to still balance it out with how many ERs you're going to fire. You're probably going to be firing the heavies both, and then throw some of those ERs into the mix just to pump up the damage output. Then we had configuration I. This one carries 19 double heat sinks. Well, that's doing pretty good. It has 2 improved heavy lasers mounted in the arms, and it has a Gauss rifle. So it's got the heavy stuff up close, and then 2 tons of ammo to go with that Gauss rifle. So it's got a long-term operational ability. And then you have slightly over 2,500 battle value. All right, so that one can, so you got 19 double heat sinks, so that's 38. And the 2 heavy lasers is, yeah, that you're right on that threshold right there. It's your movement's going to cause you have some problems. That's about it. So it's pretty decent. It's a fairly well balanced heat mech. So there, but you still got to get in close with it to hammer your targets, and then you're relying on your Gauss rifle as you're closing in until you get those other 2 into range. But you got the heavy improved, so there's that. You don't have to worry about those modifiers. Then configuration T. All right, this one has a Streak 6 with a ton of ammunition, an ER medium laser. In the left arm, right arm carries an improved heavy laser. You see the trend here. They like the heavy improved lasers. And then an improved heavy small laser and an ER medium laser in the torso. The left torso has a Streak 10. All right, we're talking about farther down the range down here. The energy weapons are all tied into a target computer. All right, so there's that good little aspect of it. And then it has case 2, 19 double heat sinks. So it comes in at a little over 2,600 battle value. That's a good mix of weapons and capability. So I'm not abhorrent to using this one. I like the Streak as your as you're capable of doing your crit hunting with it. The same thing. The Streak 10 is similar, but 5-point blocks. And then you have the heavy laser for ripping off some armor up close, along with the heavy small. So it's more of a short-range weapons platform. And then configuration X, the last one. X marks the spot. This one carries an LRM-20 with Artemis, with a PPC mounted in the center torso, with 2 medium pulse lasers and 3 improved heavy medium lasers for close range. Has ECM and a target computer, and it comes in at 2,700 battle value, just a tick over. So yeah, this one is a short range in your face type and a long range. So you're looking at with the LRM-20 with the Artemis and the ERPPC going out 21, 23, and then when you get in close to 12, you start throwing in those heavy medium lasers to do some good damage out. Like you look at the heavy medium laser, does 10 damage out the range 9. So when you want to use those things, yeah, you got to get in close, but that kind of screams almost like city fighting per se. You know, the clans can have their long-range weapons firing out at long range, or they can just shoot you shotgun point-blank range in the face with their alarms. It doesn't matter for them. And then if you tire everything into a target computer, you have the capability of tearing up elementals too. Rip a bunch of them apart. So if you're running in conjunction with some other variants, so say another Kingfisher, the one with all the ER medium lasers, yeah, they have one fire in there, tear them all up, and then the other guy comes in and does his little bit of work, and then another guy with a shot LBX 20. It's like you're not going to be seeing anything left of that point of elementals. They're going to be obliterated real quick. And target computers do help in some ways of cleaning out the short little guys. But that is it. That's the Kingfisher. Like I said, not a bad mech. I like the prime configuration myself, and one of the things I would do is possibly go with a large pulse and an ERPPC. You know, run those together. along with the LRM-10 as your long-range stuff. Then when you get in close, you may want to reconfigure how you want to, what weapons you want to fire. If you want to go with a large pulse, medium pulses in the LRM and the Streak, go that route, keep yourself cooler, or just tear some more armor off with the ERPPC. So that's kind of like how I envision it. But that is the Kingfisher. This is a long one. A lot of stuff to talk about with this guy. All right. Hope you guys like it. Like and subscribe, share with your friends, and we'll see you in the next one. Hellcrix out.